You're going through the WWE, the official gameplay overview. It's a 16-minute video. You know, the talking, I already know there's gonna be a few, you know, yip-yapping and promoting of the WWE in general in this joint. So we're gonna try to like skip through that a little bit and just get straight into the gameplay and them talking about gameplay. But let's get into this, John.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Lionel Jinx. I'm the creative director of the WWE 2K franchise.
Yes, sir.
And you'll hear from Lionel and myself beginning now, through the game's launch in March, and after for the latest on DLC, patches, and other updates. And we're not gonna be taking this ride alone because we're bringing the homies from the dev team with us.
Okay.
So,
Come on, bring them on, bring them on.
but before we dive into that, let's kick it off with a very quick conversation about visuals, because let's be real, if y'all take a look at WWE 2K22, you might see some massive differences from previous cycles. And this is the best looking game yet. Just a
It's
little
pretty.
bit.
It's so pretty.
Lionel,
Okay.
can you talk about
That's
how
nice to know.
the teams approach production differently this time around, starting with the superstars?
So the superstars, you know, in any WWE game are the backbone of the game, right? And so we have to make sure that we are doing our absolute best on representing every superstar to the best of our abilities. And in order for us to do that, we piggybacked on the same technology that you guys saw in NBA 2K22, where, you know, you look at their players and the details and just the likenesses look amazing. And so, you know, we shared that same technology and brought that
I
into
want to
WWE
know the
2K22,
customization
like the
options for
skins,
intros and everything.
improved hair. Just to me, the amazing amount of detail that you'll see in our superstars is unparalleled for us.
Yeah, and also
Whoa.
The amount of detail that you'll see
You're not going to skip past
in our
that. Look at it here, bro.
superstars is unparalleled for us.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Damn.
also
Okay.
the teams have overhauled the lighting engine, and there's an
was hoping
all-new
they fixed that.
VFX engine as well.
Yeah, so, you know, lighting is everything, right? So like all of these details and everything that we poured into our superstars wouldn't mean anything if
There's
they weren't lit
there's still a few
properly.
glitches in
Everything that
this
we poured
joint,
into
bro.
Our superstars,
Look how his clothes
wouldn't
jumped
mean
up.
anything if they weren't lit properly, right? And so,
Ooh,
if
Sheamus.
you know, take a look at this version of the game compared to any other year, like it looks like a broadcast.
Still clothes
it looks
glitches.
photorealistic at times,
Man.
and a lot of that is due to lighting.
And before I forget, there was also
That sounds good.
a ton of new and improved championships as well. And
Let's go.
One of my personal
That's what I
favorite
really
teams,
wanted to
mainly
see
because
too.
It's the team I work with most closely is the environments team.
I love championships.
There are over
Should be able to
55
customize
playable
better.
arenas, and we also
55?
have virtual crowd boards in the game as well. So you might see
All right.
some
All right.
familiar faces.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah. Not my ugly mug.
All right, we know what y'all been waiting for, so
Cool,
we have
cool,
some
cool.
folks in the waiting room. I'm gonna go ahead and invite all of them in. So, y'all, we're
Who's
so
that?
excited today because
Who's
y'all know who
that?
Please welcome
Who's
the
that?
gameplay leadership team, principal designer Jason Vandiver, senior designer Derek Donahue, and senior producer Jonathan Rivera. Y'all, this is extremely exciting, and thank you so much for joining us for the first episode of Ringside Report.
Bro,
Okay,
what?
so
Yeah.
I don't want to linger any longer because folks have been asking for gameplay for a very, very long time.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Without further ado, the moment y'all been waiting for, we are going to show you a 1v1 match between
All right.
Rey Mysterio
Rey
and Damian
and-
Priest.
Okay.
So let's roll the footage.
All right, let's get it, man.
So at this point, one of the things we very intentionally called out to our fan base is that we have a redesigned gameplay experience. And starting with Jason, can you talk about what that means to you and how gameplay hits different?
In WWE 2K22, we have a completely new
I see
animation
sweat.
system. This system has allowed us to greatly improve the look and the feel of the characters. Basically, everything from the way the characters move and they traverse through the world, to how they align with each other during attacks has been completely overhauled and redone. Players are going to notice a significant difference the moment they pick up the controller. The characters are way more responsive than they've ever been. You no longer feel like you're fighting to control your character to get them into position to do what you want them to do. Strikes, dives, springboards, they all connect more precisely.
Stunned.
And that's also something that we really struggled with and took to heart and tried to resolve this year. Another key change that we've made to the game engine this year is our physics system. While the series
I always hated that. He grab him by the waist and then out of nowhere they just go for that. I always hated that.
While the series has always had Havoc to some degree, it's primarily used for only air and clock simulation. For 2K22, we've completely integrated Havoc into gameplay, which has allowed us to introduce things like breakable props. The kendo stick starts to fray the more you use it. Tables, they break more dynamically. The chair even breaks.
So now you're telling me the kick out is to press? Yo, they're bringing back the hard press? Babe, are you ready for WWE 2K22, man? There's no more timing. You don't gotta time it anymore. You just gotta tap X as fast as you could. Are you ready for that? Because there's no excuse anymore. You said what?
I said it's easier for me to win now.
Oh, wow. All right, I'm gonna turn you back down. She got disrespectful. If y'all want to see me and her go against each other, man, you got to give this video about 20 likes, man. That's a fact. And then I'll give you our gameplay.
The environment itself are now
we do go crazy though.
Breaking, such as like the corner barricade, instead of relying on a canned sequence animation.
Oh, my back.
It's a really big change and has helped to make the entire gameplay experience feel more dynamic.
Awesome. Derek, same question.
So for me, when we sat down to figure out how we were going to change gameplay for 2K22, one of the biggest things that we put as a priority was making sure the game is fun in a pick up and play kind of way. I want to be able to hand the controller to my friend who doesn't know anything about WWE, and I want them to still be able to have a good time and be able to just kind of hop in with me. So we made sure that with our controls redesign, all of the core actions are something you can discover just by button mashing. You should be able to basically play through a match without having known anything beforehand. But another big priority for us with that is making sure we're not, smoothing over a lot of the details that returning fans like. So all of the high level of control that you expect to have with your character, all of the high degree of customization you expect, all of that still remains.
Okay.
So you mentioned new controls and mechanics. Combat itself is centered around 3 inputs: light attacks, heavy attacks, and grapples. So in this cycle specifically, what do those terms mean?
So light attacks, those are your quick strikes, the fastest attacks in the game. Heavy attacks, those are kind of like strong strikes from previous years. They're bigger, slower strikes, but they deal more damage. And then finally grapples, those are where some of the bigger changes come into play. So you press the grapple button once to lock up with your opponent, but then from there you can press light, you can press heavy. Those will do your light and heavy grapples, but there's all sorts of other options. Irish whips, drag, carry, all of those things come from the grapple state. So once you grapple your opponent, you have a lot of possibilities opened up to you.
Okay, and I want to toss this over to Jonathan too. So opening up these possibilities, can you talk about some of the combo options that players can dive into?
This is quite interesting because I love how I don't know how they're gonna really put this in properly.
I don't need to memorize every superstar's moveset, but instead I practice the timing of my inputs in order to execute combos. Light attacks allow me to branch into a combo, and when I learn that light, heavy grab executes that move, I can take that and apply it to anybody I play with. I love the exploration that our game provides to encourage the user to play with many different superstars and then choose whichever was better suited for them. And if you don't like the combos that we assign, we also support customizing combos. I'm personally really excited to see what cool combos our community creates.
Okay, very quickly, I want to take it back to one point that Derek touched on earlier, which was about the accessibility of this game and being able to just pick it up and play.
Stamina?
And I want to call this out mainly because I myself am a much newer player to WWE 2K. So for me, picking up and playing has been the whole experience. The controls are super easy to learn. And while my own habits fall back on button mashing the controller, even though we have that, I enjoy having to be very strategic and intentional about how I'm approaching this game, especially when it comes to the timing of things like reversals or finishers. So I can definitely attest to, hey, if you're feeling intimidated by this, please don't. Pick it up, try it out. You'll have such a blast. But also, if you're a vet and you've been playing this for a long, long time, can y'all talk about how vets can better show off their moves and what that means for the overall strategy of their experience?
I wonder if you could customize what type of counters you do now.
Comes with the new defensive option.
You understand what I mean? Like if it's a kick counter, are you able to customize what type of counter you want to do with a kick or a punch, stuff like that, certain type of grapple? I'm wondering about the full customization part of it now
that we've added this year.
They got me.
One of the biggest examples is breakers. Instead of reversals being the only tool for countering your opponent's attacks, grapples and combos actually don't use reversals. Instead, you counter them with a breaker. So when you're doing a grapple or a combo on your opponent, they can counter that attack by pressing the same light, heavy, or grapple input against you. So those moves are countered with breakers. Everything else is countered with a reversal. So knowing what kind of attack you expect your opponent to perform can already prime you to know how you want to counter it. So there's already a mind game at that level. Then you have blocking, which is all new. If you hold down the reversal button, you enter a blocking stance, and that lets you withstand light, heavy, and running attacks. And then you can counterattack faster than your opponent can after blocking. You can also dodge with the right bumper. So you can kind of choose a direction and get out of the way really quickly if you time your dodge correctly, but it's higher risk than a block. And then when you're on the ground, you also can button mash to get up faster, or you can press right bumper to do a quick get up at the cost of some resource. So when you have all of those defensive options available to you, it makes when you're on defense, that's a lot more strategic, but also when you're on offense, you have to be careful with how you want to attack your opponent so that they don't counter you.
So our community has been speculating about the HUD and like guessing like what, these little glowing meters mean and all this stuff. Jonathan, I'm going to let you be the first to break this down and break the news. And let's dive into the
that
HUD
looked a little
and
smooth,
give
though.
the community some clarity here.
So our goal was to create a HUD that strips down all unnecessary aspects and simply gives the user the information that they need without distracting the user from the
We might be bringing back Friday Night Backlash, bro.
This is basically your health bar. Below that, you'll find a special meter, which is a resource you want to spend to perform signatures, paybacks, or defensive action. Finally, at the bottom is your finisher meter, where you can store up to 3 stocks.
Okay.
So there's one thing that's missing that I think a lot of people are like, where's the reverse stock? Can you talk a little bit more about the changes we made there?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, obviously the biggest change that we made was the removing.
They still got that stupid back away thing. You see that?
Yeah, obviously the biggest.
And I know he didn't do that on purpose.
The changes we made there.
And then out of nowhere, he just turned around.
Yeah, obviously the biggest change that we made was the removing the reversal stock from the HUD. We felt that 2K20's matches came down to how the users manage their reversal stock. We wanted to bring a bit more skill to a match by giving the users unlimited reversals, but making them a little bit more difficult to execute. In our internal matches of 2K22, we get wild swings and back and forth and a bunch of oh-so-close moments that we really feel make the match memorable. And in addition to that, we added a new stun meter that shows up on the keyboard when it's close to being filled. So we're really excited to show off our new HUD and for our users to play with all of the new additions and our streamlined approach.
I still got that stupid animation.
One of the things that, at the end of the match where I'm like, in previous years or, iterations, once you basically knew once your opponent didn't have any reversal stock, all you had to do was hit your Sega finisher, match was over. That's not the case anymore, right? Like someone can just pull out like a reversal and there's this back and forth. And so Derek, can you talk about how strategy is incorporated into that part of this new mechanic?
Yeah, so with reversals no longer being on a limit, that opens up a lot of possibilities for how your opponent can counter you, right? Like they could always pull a reversal out, or if you're using combos and grapples, they could hit you with a breaker. But the stun meter that Jonathan mentioned earlier, that's one of your biggest tools for making sure that you can pull off your biggest moves without getting countered. So lighter attacks, while they don't do as much damage to the vitality of the opponent, they're better at filling your opponent's stun. And if you can get their stun meter filled, that's your opportunity to perform an attack without the risk of getting a reversal or a break.
Okay, so how do you know they're about to be stunned?
Back, y'all. Like, I love it. It creates a whole new level of like intensity in those tight matches. And I gotta practice my finger strength on that just so I can beat everyone down when this game goes online.
All right, that's nice.
All right, y'all. We can go on and on, but unfortunately, we're out of time.
Hold up. Whoa. Once again, look at this hair tech, bro. The hair textures on this game forever is bad, bro. Look at this. It looks like It looks like somebody made black noodles and threw it on her head.
Dude, get in the ring.
Look at that. It seems like they didn't fix every single thing that was a problem. There's probably still like little tweaks and bugs that's within it. You know, outfit malfunctions, hair textures is still terrible. Certain times you use certain finishers, it looks like they just threw a dummy on the floor and it really looked like somebody got thrown to the pavement. Put in the comment section down below if they actually fixed the things that you see that was a problem. I did see that the counter gauge was a problem. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Thank y'all very much for watching. And once again, if you made it this far, make sure to like up this video so more people can see it, and make sure to give me about 20 likes so we can get a gameplay out. Me and my girl going against each other and Friday night backlash, baby. We made characters, we got characters, and we out here, man. See y'all next time with it. Have a good day, y'all.